And then when she left, it was like a whole blow up that ended up happening. So yeah, but she got her own apartment. She was able to like get a job and all this other stuff and move into her own place. She's 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? She's not like a child. Hey, what's up, Melissa? 37.
She's 30 years old.
Yeah, she's like not a child. She's a grown woman.
Right. Um,
She
and
she's got
her
a
her
she got a job, apartment. She got her own.
and her
She's in
family
school.
is her family still trying to get in contact with her and put her back into like, is
No,
she on her meds? Is she
her family don't have nothing to do with her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, unless she recently got back with him, but back then, no, she wasn't really in touch with her family. And I tried to get in touch with her family at some point, but the family said, hey, she's on her own, so they didn't want anything to do with her.
right? I mean, well, I, to be honest with you, like we're me personally, like what you say is not really her word. Like I don't do the hearsay thing, so I would have to hear that from Legina Gold's mouth herself, right? I know a lot of people are doing cover up stories right now because of the way things went in real life, right? We could do all this social media cover up stuff, right? But unless I got in touch with Legina Gold, I don't think I'm going to believe anything that's coming out of anyone else's mouth besides hers, due to the fact that so many people had so much to do with that whole situation. I mean, even the trip to uh, New Orleans with Solar, a lot of people are overlooking that trip. Why is that?
Overlooking it in what way? I don't think that they're overlooking it. I think that, I mean, heck, that was a big part of what happened with her with Jaguar. So yeah, I mean, actually, like I said, if you actually, I'm trying to find the part in my interview so I could just play that one part on Real Life Streets or send it to you. The clip where she actually talked about how she got her herself, because she was actually at there during my interview with Real Life Street Stars, and she said it with her own mouth what happened. You know,
Or at what point did she get introduced to you? Because Jaguar said that you and Legina seemed to know each other before she introduced y'all, or did you get introduced through Jaguar, or did you already know her on your own
it
accord?
was through Jaguar.
Okay.
Jaguar asked said that this person was down there with needed help, and I went down there. Well, I didn't go down there. I sent someone to help her. That's all it was. And
And then you sent her to Jaguar when she got to the Dallas area, or are you in Detroit, or is you in Dallas?
I'm in Dallas. I didn't send her to Jaguar. The only thing my responsibility was to get her to the Greyhound station. After everything else, after that, that was between those content creators, Jaguar, and them. You know what I'm saying? I just
Oh,
helped her
okay. So
get to the Greyhound.
you just happen to have a family member in Detroit that can get her to a Greyhound.
Yeah, yeah. And then they were
Okay.
raising money on SDW's platform to get her down.
Right. And not only on there, but on TikTok too. It was a double fundraiser per se. Um, so okay, so then they got the ticket. She got on the Greyhound, and then she came on down to Dallas. And then when did you meet her personally? Was it after she got down there, or was she down there with Jaguar for a while before you met
She
her?
was down with Jaguar for about 2 weeks, and then Jaguar came to my house to work on music. And then she was working on music, and then they left, and then she came. Jag came back, and that's when her and uh, Goomba and wait, I think the Solar situation happened before Legina came down. I think, or was that afterwards? I forget. I think that happened. She brought Legina. Look, I'm getting my times
Well,
mixed up.
because she said she it worked out for her. According to what Jaguar said, Legina had to be there because Legina was there as a witness. So she said it worked out for her because Legina was there to witness, um, Goomba and his, mind slips or whatever she was saying Goomba was going through Goomba. So yeah, she had to be there before the Solar thing.
I think not no. So I think Solar was. I don't know because I don't
That's
think
what I'm
that
saying. Listen to what we can go back to what Jaguar said in her video, right? Jaguar said that Legina was there as a witness to Goomba going off. Remember, Legina was there when they was in that house when Jaguar did the video. She said, Legina, say hi to Goomba. He's not going to be in this house. I don't know if the house that they were squatting in supposed to be buying it, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, so that had to be after Goomba had left. I think she was there a little bit when Goomba was there, and then Goomba ended up leaving at some point.
Right. Apparently, she said Goomba didn't like uh
Regina, no.
Legina or something like that.
No.
Okay. So and then she brought Legina to your house after 2 weeks.
Yeah, like they just was there like momentarily to work on music or whatever they were doing and all this other stuff. And
And then when did she start living at your house?
um Gina started living at my house after they went to Shreveport and then came back. Because I think that they were going out, they were having issues. And so Gina said, well, listen, I guess something happened with like some kind of candle or something like that, where Jaguar wanted her to go down into some other room where she was doing candle work and like witchcraft and stuff like that. And she got mad because Legina wouldn't go down and grab a candle or whatever.
But wasn't the Shreveport thing with Solar?
Yeah, but they were going back and forth to Shreveport on a
Oh,
regular basis.
I thought you just said that
They were going
Legina.
back and forth. They had been there several times. That
Oh,
was
okay. So this was one time that Legina was there, but
yeah.
after that she
That
came.
was it
Okay.
was after the
So was it so then she came to stay with you after Jaguar tried to, bring her into some ritual thing.
right. She
Okay.
didn't like it, and I guess her and Jack were starting to argue, and she was saying, "I don't want to move to Shreveport. I think it's boring here. I don't think I have enough opportunities out here, because I guess it must be a kind of sleepy town. I don't know. I've never been there before." So she
Right.
said she didn't want to live there, and Jack was going to move there. She was moving into that house, and I think they were trying to get Gina an apartment somewhere. So Jack would be in the house, and Gina would be in the apartment in Shreveport.
Okay.
She didn't
So
want to live in an apartment in Shreveport, so she said, "Well, I'll come up to Dallas. I'll go to a shelter." And I said, "Well, you don't have to go to a shelter. You could just come stay here, get a job, get on your feet, go get an apartment.
right. Right. So let's go back to this candle lit thing. Like what was it any other details about that? Did she just say like, oh, she tried to get me to come into a dark room with candles in it? Like, was it she didn't
Well, I guess they had they had the hotel room they were living in and a separate hotel room where they were doing candle work in.
right,
And
but
I
more
guess she
specifically
wanted
about
Regina to go down there and grab the candle and read it or whatever. Because I guess you could read what the candle says or what it mean. I don't know whether it was reading the candle or lighting the candle or putting stuff into the candle. I don't know exactly what the details were, but I'm imagining it's probably like, okay, want to see what the candle is. It
right. I
what?
mean, Chucky had the same method. You got to put his hands on your head, and he says, I'm ring your law, give me the power, I beg of you. You know what I mean? It's certain incantations that you have to speak, and plus they have to be a willing participant, so you have to get them to read it in order to, soul swap, soul snatch, different stuff like that. But okay, it's old magic. Don't worry about it. So was it any more details about it regarding that situation, about the fallout with them two, or it was just like, well, she wanted me to go downstairs and get some candles and I didn't want to do it? Like that sounds kind of like
I think it
bland.
was
Like
a consistent thing. Like she didn't want to sit in the car with Jaguar. She scrolled through YouTube. It was a kind of different things that she was doing that Regina just didn't want to be a part of. And also, she did not want to move to Shreveport. She did not want to live in Shreveport with Jaguar.
okay,
I mean, imagine like you come down from Detroit, you think you're going to live in Dallas, and you're like, okay, well, Dallas sounds ideal, but then the person decides they're going to move to Shreveport. And you're like, okay, I don't think I want to move. You get to Shreveport, you're like, I mean, if you've
and then
been
the
to
eviction happened too at that time, so it was kind of like everything played out. You
yeah,
had
she kind of felt like I think she was like, well, they're about to get evicted. You want me to move to Shreveport? Like, I mean, it's common sense. I mean, like I said, Legina got a lot of sense. As much as people want to think that she's stupid, no, she's not dumb.
I mean, it would be great to get in touch with Legina, but okay, so after all of this, um, Legina was pretty much tapped out because she was pretty much used up. So when did Jag out her? Was it after she moved in with you that Jag
Yeah,
started outing her?
yeah. So what happened is that like when Jaguar came down, she didn't know that Legina was gonna move, so she came to my house with her mom and her son while she went to do something. What I found out later was, drop something off at a body of water for her husband to get her husband back. And I'm not sure if she met him there too and talked to him or whatever. But
Hold up, 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 hold up. We're not gonna skip over that like it wasn't nothing right there. We can't just skip over that. We cannot just skip over that.
Mhm.
Drop something off at a body of water to get her husband back. Huh?
Yeah,
Is this pertaining to the situation with the uh
witchcraft. Yeah, like I mean, even when Solar was there with Velvet, they did some witchcraft to get Velvet back with Solar. They were always going to bodies of water doing stuff, So she knows how to do witchcraft.
mm, and this was to get her husband back.
Yeah, she told us, I'm going to get my husband back," but we
Mm,
didn't know exactly what she was going to do to get the husband back at that
right,
time.
because you
You know
don't
what
know
I'm saying?
about blood sacrificing. You don't know about none of that stuff.
Well, I mean, I practice E5. You know what I'm saying? And we
No,
do
no,
do.
no. A lot of witches might practice, the elements and the water and the earth and the everything like that. But when you bring blood into it, there's a different type. That's why you have to merge it with the water. You have to be by a body of water because you're going to alchemize and invoke the elements or call on the elements. So you have to be by a body of water because it has to be running water. It has to be live or living water. It can't be a bottled water. It can't be, you know what I mean? So
But when she
whenever
went to a lake, that's not like a running water. You know
it's
what I'm
still
saying?
moving water, it's still living water, it's still water that's moving. It's not, it's then sit in plastic for a couple of days. It didn't come out of a faucet where it had treatment. You get what I'm saying? So
I've
it's
never been
still
to.
all right. So whenever you're invoking blood magic, these are some of the things that you might. But anyway, uh, we
See, in
already
Ephah, so in my religion, we only time we ever do really sacrifice is in this animal normally is because of like you're either getting initiated or there's some kind of a something on you that maybe might need that just to protect you from maybe death or something like that. But
right.
just willy nilly going out and taking blood to the river and doing all that, we
Well,
probably might take a watermelon or like a
if if
fruit or
you
something like
don't,
that.
if you do it one way, right, then it's still a form of a life for a life, right? When you bring uh trees, when you bring plants, stuff like that, it's still a life, right? So most people use that, right? But some of the darkest, the stronger is blood magic. So once some people start, manipulating blood magic, they realize that, a human is the strongest, right? So this is where a lot of that play comes in at evil begotten evil, right? But we don't have to get into all of that. I want to try to keep it surface. I don't want to dig too deep, because then we going into some other things, and then that will be based off of speculation, and then we're drifting into conspiracy theorists, and that's where Jaguar likes to manipulate people at. So let's go back to Regina Gold. And so after she got to your house, this is when Jaguar outed her. But as long as she was with Jaguar, her story was good.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, I'll get back. Tell them I'll get back with it. I'm sorry. But yeah, what was the question? I'm sorry. Somebody called.
So the at the point that Jaguar outed Legina, this was at the point where she was staying with you, right?
Yeah, she got upset with the fact that Legina had left, and she's like, "Well, they're gonna triangulate your location and all this other stuff, and threatening her, saying that I'm bad, and this, that, the other." And then I found out that she had been saying that for the whole time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so she was mad at the fact that Legina had left her and decided to come over to my place, but that was only like supposed to be temporary. It wasn't like
Right.
I was trying to bring her into my fold or anything like that. It was more like get
Right.
on your feet.
And Jaguar mind, it was like you stole her cash cow. It was like, you know what I mean? They was getting a bunch of money on TikTok and all these other platforms, doing interviews, so on and so forth. So it was like you know what I mean? You stole her cash cow. Um, it's no wonder why she came out as a victim herself, because as a handler, you stole the item of which she was handling. So after that, she had to become her own handler. So now she's her own handler and she's her own victim. But that's neither here nor there. So basically, Legina Gold was staying with you. She got on her feet, so on and so forth, and she got her own place. She got her own job. Um, According to you, she's 30 something years old, um, and so on and so forth. But what's the time span? How long would you say y'all knew Legina Gold? Was it 4 years, 3 years?
No. Like now it's probably about maybe 2 years, but at the time it was I didn't know her at all. Like I just
Okay, you knew
zero,
her.
0 years.
And you knew Jaguar before you knew Legina Gold.
Yes.
And how long you knew Jaguar?
I've known her since in the 90s, like 90, 98, 99.
Since 98, 99. Shut up.
Yeah.
Ain't no way you know her that long.
Yeah, I booked her for Black Lily. So her and the whole
Oh.
Black Lily crew came to DC when I was DJing down there.
See, you about like a couple of years shy of when she stole my bike, because 98, it was 94. So yeah, it's a little bit off. But okay, so you knew her for that long. Now, so when she started dealing with the carbonation, was you already in touch with this group, or did she did y'all already know all of these people together or already, or what?
I had been following Carbonation since Nature Boy started off in like this store saying that he was about to change his life. So I knew about Nature Boy way, 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 when he first started off. So I followed the Carbonation, like just the story from that time all the way till the end. Um,
Okay.
and so what I ended up doing was trying to help the people that when they were getting out of that to help them get on their
But you
feet.
never been in like direct contact with that group, have you?
No, I mean I did talk to Nature Boy on the phone and debated him because he was
Okay.
trying to get people to poop on trees and saying that the ancestor, even though he was right, the
Right.
ancestors are inside of you, but he was trying to
Right.
go against Ifa and saying us putting an altar to the ancestor is a waste of time because the ancestors are within you and I'm like, okay,
Okay.
but that's just a way to like focus your intent when you are dealing with
So
it.
what point did you know that Jaguar was in touch with Solar and doing all of the, ritual stuff?
When
Um,
Solar came to my house after he broke up with Velvet, the thing is, Jaguar had found out that I was in touch with Carbonation.
mhm.
Initially, I had contacted her because my child's father by 10 was in Slum Village and was on tour with her back in OK Player. When he died, I was trying to do an autobiography of him, and I was trying to get her to help me because she knew all the OK Player people. Had I
Okay.
known what I know now, I probably would have never contacted her because she probably would have never had nobody would have probably ever joined a biography that she had anything to do with. I found that out later on, but um, I was trying to do. She was putting me in touch with people like Real Life Street Stars to help me film it, and she found out that Shaka and them were staying at my house. Shaka Zulu, which is was part of Carbonation for a couple months, and went through their whole situation with them. But I became friends with them through the tribe Zulu on Bigo. Jaguar and Tokyo Tony was trying to take down Nature Boy on Bigo. So I was like, oh, okay, Shaka, since I mean, he talked to Jaguar on Bigo, maybe she can come and help out with the documentary. Because it was, he came to me, he said, man, you should just go ahead and do something about 10, bring his memory back, this, that, the other, do a documentary.
Okay.
Touch with some people. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And then I said, well, you should get in touch with Jaguar. So I ended up emailing her. She ended up responding back. I had a dinner with her. She said she would help. Next thing you know, she put me on the phone with Obi Trice. She's showing that she knows people. Okay, cool. So then she comes to the house and sings Donny Hathaway. I'm singing this song to you to Shaka and them. And then it just kind of like, we did like some things like a interview on her Philadelphia. I became I started to like do tech support for her channel, trying to help Goomba make it better because it was like wonky and like kind of glitchy. That's
Right.
okay. Well, I'm a web developer and a software engineer, so I know how to do that stuff. So she was actually asking me to help her with her stuff and help her to become like help her with her events and stuff like that initially, and then that kind of
At what point did the fallout happen?
when Legina when Gina came. When the
So
fact that Gina
when
came,
Legina came and she felt like you took Legina from her or you took Legina's side, then you became the enemy after that.
yes,
So after you knew this lady since the 90s and like you done did this for her and got Legina down there, got your peoples in Detroit to get Legina down there to her, and then off of that one incident, she decided y'all friendship and everything was worth that one little incident because Legina made a choice to stay with you.
yes. She
Wow.
told me, well played. In her mind, she think that I was like trying to gun for Legina to try to get her on my side. I don't know what she was thinking. I'm like,
She
bro.
said that. She said, "Well played."
She said, well played.
Damn. So she gave you credit for it.
But the thing is I didn't play her. I wasn't trying to
No,
play
no,
her.
no, no, no. That's it's the mind of somebody who plays God that when they say stuff like that, that means, it's like, Sherlock Holmes, the game is a foot, Watson, life is one big game and you played her in the game of life by taking her, cash cow away, which further, caused the downfall of the house and everything like that because now she don't got Legina Gold to try to, do these interviews with so on and so forth to try to the squatting situation was already about to come to a head, but at least with Legina at that time, you got to think about it. She lost Goomba, then she turned around and lost Legina. She already was about to lose Sam. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you played a part in that because of that. You know what I mean? Because of how everything played out. So she's looking at you like, okay, well played. You took another piece of the puzzle from me that I was trying to use in order to get where I wanted to go. You get what I'm saying?
Right. So, well, I found out later that she had planned on like exposing her, Legina, like trying to do exposure. Like she brought her down here only to
Right. I
like
mean,
befriend her.
once she got all of the, coin out of her that she can, then there's money to make on the back end by exposing it and then dragging that out. Yeah. Very strategic, narcissistic, manipulative stuff. Yeah. That's how it works. Okay, so after all these years of knowing her, y'all finally fall out over this Legina thing. But how long was the Nature Boy thing there? Like, when did that happen on Bigo? Was this like early 2021 or roughly before that?
Well, I knew Shaka and them around 20. I lost my child like 2020, 2019. I think it was 2020. I forget what. Yeah, I kind of put it out of my mind, but um, like so, what happened is when I was in the hospital, I ran into Shaka and them because I was watching Bigo, you know, and they were in town. And I was like, "Oh man, you guys are in town." And so after I lost my son, when they were like kind of like being nice with me and talking to me on the phone, this, that, the other, and we ended up meeting up when they came to Dallas and they introduced me to Bigo. So I became part of their Bigo family because it was during the COVID epidemic. So whenever COVID hit about in 2019, that time, because I ended up getting COVID, that's how I lost my child. Well, I ended up having to give birth early. And whenever that big freeze was in Dallas, I think that was in 2019. I'm not sure. But that freeze kind of put me into preeclampsia and like, made me give birth early. So, and then they found out I had COVID and then the baby ended up passing. So after he came out 2 months later, so they were around during that time, like I was in communication with them. And so when they came to Dallas again, they met with me. We all went out, hung out with the kids, and it was like, just hanging out, And so we they introduced me to the whole Bigo and making money on Bigo. So during the whole COVID, I was a part of their family making money on Bigo. And that's how I found out about Tokyo Tony and Jaguar and the whole Nature Boy thing. Because at the time, Nature Boy had come to Bigo, and yeah, it was a whole thing. It was like a battle between Shaka's group and Carbonation. They were like trying to get people from Carbonation to leave and go to his family.
Okay. Okay. So and then like after all of that happened, you were trying to help the people from that group?
Just it was mainly Shaka and Azine, but through Shaka and Azine, that's how you get Solar coming and Velvet coming. It was only those two. And then, like I said, then Velvet and Solar ended up coming after they had left Carbonation.
Okay. And what happened with the whole solar? I mean, well, according to what you might have heard, what happened with the whole solar and Jaguar situation? I mean, Goomba was going off as if, Solar done voodooed her, and she started taking Solar's side. Goomba's confused, like, yo, I thought you were my woman. Like, what was your take on that whole Solar and Jaguar situation?
Well, it was interesting. He was heartbroken because him and Velvet had broke up. Um, she had kicked him out, I think, and he ended up coming down to Dallas and was trying to get a job with Shaka, getting on his feet again, and trying to get back down to Mexico. So he had come down, and then he had been there for like about a week or two, and then Jaguar came, and she had come a few times before Solar was there, and he was working on music the whole time. So when she came, he was working on music, and then next thing you know, they're working on music together. She made the song "Welcome to the Circus" in the middle of that, and so after that, she probably known him for like a day, and then she asked him to go down to Shreveport. Shaka and I were heading toward Detroit, and she said, "Well, can you come with us to Shreveport?" So he was like, "Sure." So he gets in the car and goes to Shreveport with Jaguar and them. While Shaka and this, we went up to like Detroit to go to a studio out there and to work on some music out in Detroit. So what ended up happening is that he was going to different events, meeting different people in like Louisiana and stuff like that, wherever they were going. And then when they on the way back, something weird thing happened where she wanted to get like some beignets or some kind of like crawfish or something like that on the way back, and then but I don't know. I think that Gerald was like throwing a gun in the car or something weird was going on.
Mm. Hmm.
So and then
Mm.
next thing you know, they were falling. They ended up falling out, and then the whole like barbershop scene happened, and we were on the phone with them during that. But yeah, because we were trying to tell Solar, he's like, Goomba was like, tell him to get away from my wife.
Right.
You know,
Okay. And Solar still is incarcerated for that, right? Or was it for that incident that he's incarcerated for?
Mm-mm.
Okay, yeah, other
He's
charges.
incarcerated because he was trafficking D Rugs from California to the UK.
Oh, okay. So, wow. We're not even gonna get into that. So, Jaguar Wright in the live that she deleted 8 days ago, she had mentioned something pertaining to let me get this right. I said that I wasn't going to help none of those kids from that carbonation until after it was dispersed. And I did just that. I helped those girls. Okay, so yeah, what girls is she talking about that she helped?
She said she helped who?
She said she helped the girls from Carbonation. She said she helped the girls from that group. She was saying something about I did nothing but have Sabbath dinner with them, take them to church, teach them about their creative ability. And I don't we don't know what girls she's talking about. She said I did nothing but help
I mean,
those
she did
girls.
help. She did tell Velvet. She did get the pregnancy test for Velvet, where she found out that she was pregnant by Solar.
Okay. Okay. So that she didn't mention nothing about a pregnancy test or nothing like that. She said I don't know if you want me to play it, but she said I did nothing but help those
No,
girls.
go ahead. I want to hear this because it's crazy. Because I'm like, at the end of the day,
Oh, you want to hear it? Okay.
I mean,
I got
all this was going on in my house. So whatever help she was doing, like she was in my house helping. So like, I was helping. She felt like she was helping.
I
Okay.
hear not good at all. I promise you. Hear that.
The kids that came out of that cult until after they defected.
Uh-huh.
I told them when they were ready to leave, if they needed my help transitioning back into a normal life, I would help. And that's exactly what I did.
Oh, okay.
Their children. I'm like their grandmother.
Where they at? Where they at then?
She's like their grandmother.
Where they at? I mean, that's what she said. She said I did nothing but help them. I'm like their G mom. I'm like the grandmother, I'm trying to figure out where the grandkids at then.
She said she considered Shaka her nephew or something like that. I don't know about the grandma. What is it? Where the grandma came in play? I don't know. All these kids have grandmothers, by the way. They all have.
What kids? What kids we talking about? Who is
Velvet's children have grandma. They have a grandma that she lives with her mom. I think she lives with her mom right now. I'm not sure, but they have a grandma. All the kids from Carbonation have grandparents. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where she comes in thinking she's a grandma. She said she was the auntie. Okay, you could be the auntie, the fake aunt. Like cousins. You know how black people do, but she's not the grandma. Like, come on now. What? So anyways, she like I said, when she would come, she would play with the kids. She would play with Shaka and them. She would talk to them and whatever, for a little bit of time, and then she would get back to music. It wasn't like she was like Holy Mother Teresa, you know what I'm saying? And also when she brought us to church, it was only me and Legina that went to church. Everybody didn't go to church.
Oh. I'm just trying to clear up some, because she has this way of spinning stuff in her mind and then trying to make reality.
How many kids? They were saying how many kids were there. So Shaka have 2 kids. I have my 2 kids, and then when Velvet came, she had her daughter, her 2 kids. So about 6 kids total, So
and at what point did she start trying to get your kids taken away?
After Legina, the whole situation with Legina.
So after Legina, all cards was off. She was trying to, say how many people was in the house and trying to get CPS to come to the house and all of that jazz.
Yeah, sending fake CPS letters saying that people were going to call CPS and sending emails saying that people were concerned. Somebody named Uncle Barry Hankins' baby mama, like emails from somebody named that. And I know that she's good at she can make up fake emails. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, I don't think that these are real. And then Shaka sent it to me laughing. So it's crazy that, he ended up double back on me. But, hey, people do what they feel like they want to
do. That's crazy. So basically, like, after Jaguar made you the villain, other personas started making you the villain too?
Yeah, pretty much.
So the documentary that you were putting together was off the table as soon as you took, as soon as you thought you were doing what was right and let Legina stay with you.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you haven't fully recovered from all of that, have you?
Not really. Not
financially or mentally?
Well, I would say mentally I have, but financially I'm still kind of like trying to get back together. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasted a lot. I mean, I spent a lot of money trying to, make things happen. And then the way that they kind of double crossed me, the amount of money I put in, they were supposed to be helping me with the situation. But really in the background, they were like plotting against me and ended up stealing my equipment. And it was a whole thing that went off. So.
Dang. And then like, I guess Jaguar just chucked it up to like, that's what you get type time.
Yeah, that's what you get. That they deserved it. They deserve that equipment. For what? They didn't come on now. They were staying for free. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to help him. You know what I'm saying? Because he would tell me about his child support, and I said, okay, well, we'll try to like come together and like generate some money, whatever. And then y'all get, because their whole objective was to get back down to Mexico. Even when Solar came, they were all like, even though they were like away from the cult, they still had like a kind of a cult like mentality. Because like whenever they all got except for Velvet, but when Solar came, he was trying to get them all to come back together and go back down to Mexico. He was trying to get everybody to come back. You know what I'm saying? To a group kind of cult like thing.
That's where
they went off to a park somewhere and they were all plotting about going down to Mexico and this, that, the other. But the problem was that Velvet, there was a whole thing where Velvet, he didn't trust Shaka because Shaka and Velvet had some kind of dealings before in the past. So there was a whole thing that was involved with that. And then that whole thing kind of blew up and they finally got the truth and was able to sit down and talk about it. And then, Velvet and Solar end up leaving and going to Florida. I don't know. They fell out at some point when him and Velvet went to Mexico, but they end up falling out. Now Velvet's where she's at, and he and Solar's in prison or jail, about to go to. I don't know if he gonna go to prison or what's about to happen. So
all this stuff happening, and then Jaguar Wright comes into the picture, and they're supposed to be doing this stuff to get Velvet back.
Yeah.
And then more strange stuff start happening, and I'm guessing Goomba probably sensed something was off, because Goomba said, like, he went in the house and came back out, and it was like Jaguar was hypnotized or something like that, because she was sitting closer to Solar. She was, like, if they was making decisions on stuff, and he said that they wasn't going to do something, and Solar said that they was, and Jaguar took Solar's side, and he's looking like, hold on, what's going on? I'm supposed to be your man. Like, you coming at me like he's your man, and I'm the side nigga or something, so that explains that situation.
I don't know. You said they were getting like rubbing each other's shoulders and all kind of weird stuff, like giving massages. I don't know what was happening.
Yeah, he said a lot of, a lot of suspicious activity was taking place. Okay, so pretty much like you were just like trying to progress and, basically make a living out of what it is that you do, the graphic design, the computer stuff, build your platforms, profile, maybe get the documentary out there, so on and so forth. The things that you guys talked about. I noticed Jaguar still holds it over your head whenever she pops up. So how's that documentary going? Stuff like that, right?
Well, and interestingly enough, Titus's mom, may she rest in peace, passed away. So a lot of the it has been kind of like the whole estate is in shambles. So I pretty much kind of like, not, no offense, but I just kind of gave up on it, because it's like it's just too much, going on. It's a lot of like stuff with the labels, and it's a lot. So
you don't feel like Jaguar Wright still owes you that? I mean, she latched herself onto you, made it seem like your dreams was possible through some directional measure that she was giving you, and then she snatched it all away and then hit you with a ha 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 at the end of it.
I don't think she owes me anything. I think that the lesson I learned is what I got out of it. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot about like being too kind to people. You know what I'm saying? And not really like, even though like, because I was used to, in Detroit, my house was where all the artists would come. We would make music, and I was so used to the Detroit vibe. People come together, make music. They're chilling. We're making albums. We're doing that. We're being creative. We're coming together with ideas. I'm used to that kind of environment. I'm not used to like when I moved to Dallas and like how they're from California, Shaka and them, and then Jag from Philly. Then you got all these different like personalities that come together, and you think it's gonna work, but I think that like the artists in Detroit tend to be more artistic, when it comes down to art, and not so much hustlers. You know what I'm saying? So they can get together and come together and put together a project and put it out, and it's not like all this BS in the game. I've lived in several situations where people come together and live underneath one roof, make music, put it out, make different projects, put it out, and it's successful, and everybody eats off of it. This is the first time I've ever experienced where everybody comes up into a situation and people get to backbiting each other, people get to talking mess about each other behind each other's back, and all this other stuff. This is not the first time I've been in a group situation with people where people work together. If you ever heard of Underground Resistance, Submerged Recordings, in Detroit, Michigan? That's one of the first techno labels. They had a whole like movement where they were going overseas and everything, And
okay, so you were just looking for that type of experience because that's what you were used to. You were like, okay, that's the vibe that that you wanted. You thought you were going to get that type of vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in this whole equation, right? At what point?
And I'm sorry, I thought that Jag was used to that too, because if you were part of OK Player, that's all OK Player was.
Right.
They was all the Soul Aquarians. They were all getting together, working underneath one roof, kind of like almost like the what's that thing? All the different like back in those times, people would come together and make music.
I mean, yeah, you had Digital Underground, you had everybody playing their part. I mean, you look at Wu-Tang Clan, you know, you look at some of these other people, they went through the struggle. They all lived in the same house. They all, you know.
Dude, listen, I like went to high school in Steubenville, Ohio when Wu-Tang Clan was in Ohio, Steubenville. And honey, they be wearing the same clothes of each other. And man, they would be all up in one house. I think they had a house by a lake out in Ohio, and they would just grind it out. And they're successful now. You know what I'm saying? Like it worked, you know. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, Shaka, he's a talented artist, you know what I'm saying? He got like a little bit of vision, you know what I'm saying? He knows how to put some rhymes together, and he got the grind. He sat there and made the music and did the stuff. We at some point, the stuff that we were putting together could have been something, you know, even with the Charleston White thing, how we put that together, you know, we were working together as a team. So I don't understand why it became so jealous and so
It was a Jaguar Wright effect. But so are you prepared for the backlash that's going to come from you being up here on my panel? Because they do watch me and they're going to speak about you. And then she's going to try to put you out there, paint your narratives of this. And you know, she's going to say, I don't know why DJGenesis was up there. She's this and she's that. Like, this.
Well, she's been doing that. She's been doing that without even me even saying nothing. If I can say nothing, and then she will somehow bring my name up, and I'm over here minding my business. It's like, okay, I thought, all right, we not cool, all right, fine. But then, okay, you keep wanting to bring my name, keep wanting to say.
Yeah, but speaking over here is a different type of operation because I'm gonna cut it up and I'm gonna put it on multiple platforms on TikTok and Instagram and so on and so forth. I mean, right now you're on 2 different pages on YouTube and Twitch. So she knows that I'm not only multi platform streaming the live, but she knows I operate in multiple spaces and they're furious about that.
Well, you know what? Listen, I was on Real Life Street Stars. They're on TikTok and all that stuff too. That's why she was mad about she comes over to this couch over here. And that's why she sat there and tried to make a lie that I had try to call me a PDO and all kind of weird stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
But this is kind of different because this is like, why is everybody going to tell their story to somebody who said I stole their bike 31 years ago? That's the effect of this right here. You know, it's a different.
Why does she go? Why does she keep lying and saying that I knew Legina when I did not know Legina? Like she's saying all these lies, and then she thinks I'm wrong for standing up for myself or getting on because people.
Everybody's wrong for standing up for themselves. You heard all the lies that they put on Amber. Amber had to show all types of call logs, text message receipts, Instagram receipts. You see all the lies that they're pushing out there. The thing is, their lies is catching up to them. See, it's one thing to be able to lie and let it linger for a while, right? It's another thing when someone's catching the lies as soon as you spit them out. That means you got to use more lies to cover them up. So by me not only pointing out the lies and catching them as soon as they happen, right? The same day, next day, right? It's keeping her mind in confusion, right? So by me making her focus on me and her stealing my bike 31 years ago, it's confusing her mental. She can't focus on the next evil plan that she's got because she's focused on defending herself on the fact that she stole my bike 31 years ago. You get what I'm saying? Why you got another account coming up?
No, this is
that's the screen. You sharing the screen? Okay, let me pull mine down. Bring yours up.
Okay, so this is my interview with Real Life Street Stars. Okay, and on this, you'll hear Legina actually speak what happened, and then they also speak what happened on their end. So anyone that's trying to put out any narrative that I knew Legina prior to, here we go. Movie with the transgender.
Yeah, it's like
you don't know what he's trying to like.
You don't know, like
relax, everybody.
Right,
relax,
do something. That thump hit a pressure point.
I'm going to rub his shoulder.
Also,
trying to dry out. Yeah, loosen y'all up a little bit. Combination style.
Right. You know, hey, they got oils and ointments and right. That shit. So
right.
I can see problems.
Got a little satchel and shit like that. Yes, rub it into your skin.
But that moment, and again, you're right because when I talked to Jaguar,
for me.
And she did tell me like, yes, no, she did ride around with her son's ashes and things like that. To see what unfolded at the barbershop and just the it did say like, man, this was, I don't know if we could come back from this. That's even me thinking business. Like, how do you fix this? So even me calling Jaguar, I'm like, man, we could fix this. Let's just figure out a way to.
They were supposed to be on the way back to the
come. Yeah, we were supposed to come do a celebration of real life. We're touching 1 million views and get. We're going to talk about doing new content for Monday.
Right.
And then that never happened. So we were still trying to figure out a way to. We could still come back from this, but then of course, the arrests, just everything happened after that. When did you and Jaguar's relationship? Because I think y'all had friction after that.
Yeah, this could get me struck, right?
No, they don't be striking people, but you can play the audio.
Everything was going on. I think she was leaving your house to go to the barbershop. I don't even know. It was all in the area.
She did.
Yeah,
they did.
They were leaving your house to go to the barbershop to find Gerald and shit. So where did y'all's situation kind of start going?
Can y'all hear it?
When Legina.
Okay, so we'll go to Legina. All right, so let's do this.
Yeah.
Chat, can y'all still hear it?
The Solar incident, Jaguar was still into the mode of let's fix this.
With Gerald, right? Yeah.
With Gerald. She went to jail. She got out.
She went to
she went to the mental.
No, she went to Chicago, and wilded out at the airport.
Well, before the airport, she went to the mental facility instead of jail. Not loose static.
Right. Yeah.
She went to the mental facility. She was able to get out after a week, and then she said, "Let's get right back to it." She went to Chicago, clear head. I talked to her up there for a while. She was just trying to clear head. Then the incident happened on the way back from Chicago, in which she said, "Hey, there's a person I would want to get out here that I've reached out to, which is Miss Legina Gold, of course." Did
she say that when she was in Chicago?
Yes. She wanted.
See?
Hey, we're connected here.
See, because she tried to make it seem like I was the one who knew Legina ahead of time. See, I didn't know Legina.
Oh no!
Who Legina was?
She was on. Legina had already, I think, hit TMZ. It was right at that time.
She was on TMZ. Legina was on TMZ.
She was.
Legina's right here. That's why I'm looking. I'm like, what? She was on TMZ.
The only reason that we when Jaguar said who Legina was, we only knew it, and we said we agreed to do the interview because of TMZ. Like TMZ reported it. So I was like, I don't know if she probably didn't know that.
I know.
Yeah, so
I didn't even know.
So when Jaguar said, I got to get her here to Texas quick. So honestly, I don't know if Jaguar was doing it to help Legina or she just saw it as content. Like we got to.
Oh no, she saw it as content.
Okay, yeah, we got to get on the show. Yeah, I think she admitted it. So we got to get on the show. We got to get on. She's like, I want to get on my show, but also I want to have y'all interview as well. And at the time, we told her we're probably not going to interview. We don't know the story. We don't know the story. And then it hit, it was on TMZ. We're like, oh, okay. If TMZ reported it, I guess we should talk about it. So she brought down, introduced us to Legina. We did our interview. And then again, from that moment on, and I want to touch on this because there was a way to get Legina down here that Jaguar, she called us. She called Real Life and was like, I need y'all to go get her. And I'm like, we're not about to go get her. Like, is there a way for y'all you have any connects that can get I think Legina was in Detroit?
She's in Detroit.
Detroit. Like, is there any connects you got? I'm like, I could probably make a couple of phone calls, but I doubt we have those connects. So I believe you might have came into.
She texted me that night. Hey, you got somebody because Legina's in trouble. She got to get out of there ASAP. So I'm like, oh man.
Did she say why ASAP? Why she have to get out of ASAP?
No. And then the next day, it was like, like on some it's almost like making it seem like somebody was about like tracking her down, or she had to get out like the mafia. Like she brought the mafia, get the mafia again. The mafia.
The time was coming.
Right. They're coming to get her. The way that she made it seem like it sounded like people were outside watching her door for her to come out the house and was going to gun her down, type of thing, or chloroform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think, and I can't remember because I think we did send some money to help.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine come and with a gun. It was also snowing, by the way. It was the middle of winter, snowing. Wow. It had just snowed. Like it was a snowstorm, I think, that had hit before, like a few days before that. So it was like full blown Detroit midwinter, cold with snow, etc. going on.
Okay, so
my friend, in 10 minutes of me calling, drove over there and had her, because I'm thinking that somebody's really about to get this before.
Yeah, like it's time.
And I'm like telling her, well, tell her to run to the truck.
Oh wow.
It's like that. Like I'm like, he got a strap. He ready to fight. He's looking around. We're thinking that this is like a just once again we on Mission Impossible.
Yeah, it's like that. That's what's been said. That's the theme that's been said. Like, listen.
Yeah.
Get in there, get out. No, if you see somebody,
hurry up, get in the car. Pull off the car, going downtown, looking back and forth. Someone's pulling up. Listen, we thought that. Listen, we in our.
So you pretty much like Jaguar just set the whole scenario up like that. You could take it off now. We pretty much got the gist of it.
Yeah. And after that, you'll hear Legina confirm it. You know?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
hold on. Was Legina saying that somebody was doing this, or somebody was chasing her, or somebody knocked on her door, or anything, or that was what Jaguar was saying to y'all?
That's what Jaguar was saying because I was not in touch with Legina. I didn't even talk to Legina until she got to Dallas. Like she was in the car, but I mean, I think I said hi and introduced myself, but I didn't never have a really outdrawn conversation with Legina when she was in the back of the car with my friend. It was more like, oh, is she hungry? Because she was on the phone with Jaguar the whole time when they tallying up how much money they had to get her down to Texas. The whole thing.
That's crazy. So pretty much like y'all didn't really know if the story was accurate or not that somebody was chasing her. Y'all just act according to if somebody was chasing her and so
Yeah.
on and so forth. So y'all nobody, even Legina herself, did she ever confirm that somebody was chasing her or after her, or
No, it was never really confirmed that there was anybody chasing her. It was more like that she felt like that her house, somebody had broke into her house or something like that
right?
the day before. And so that's why I think it was like she felt like something was going on.
Yeah,
But
it probably was Big Hungry CC. That's what Jaguar do. Jaguar got a team of people that she used to go out and place the threat. You know, that gang stalking mentality. You know, follow them in a car and stuff like that. And then she played a Wizard of Oz, where she play like she keeping you safe. You know, where she create the scenario. But in this situation right here, most likely she just wanted Legina to get to her expeditiously because she's seen the money that could
I
be
don't
made.
think it was Cece. I think that she was getting evicted. I think that she didn't. She is a few months late on her rent, and I
I
think
mean, Legina might have been getting evicted and wanted a different place to operate or whatever like that. But you just heard real life street stars say that Jaguar contacted them when she was in Chicago, saying that she needed to get Legina to her, as quick as possible because she was on TMZ.
yeah, and I had no idea she was on TMZ. I found out that day that she was on
So
TMZ.
you just now heard him say, like, you thinking that the first time was when she got in touch with you and was trying to get the bus ticket and get her down there, right? But they telling you she said that she needed to get this girl down there when she was in Chicago and they sent money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
I'm like,
she's saying that she needed to get this girl down there. Real life street started telling you that she already was trying to get this girl down there before you started making the arrangements for this bus ticket and so on and so forth. Even as far as saying that they sent money to get this girl down there already because she had called a week before or 2 weeks before or whatever. Whenever she was in Chicago, I don't know when that time was.
yeah, that's crazy. I mean, wow. I mean, even when I was in it, my brain was not really focused on that. You know what I'm saying? I was more focused on what I'm trying to do, making money. You know what I'm saying? So even as I'm telling the story, it wasn't really registering what was going on. I'm like, what? What? I'm surprised the whole time. Like, what? What? TMZ? And then what?
Right. I mean, nobody knows that she was like on TMZ. Nobody knows that that she was making this money on TikTok already, because when you think about it, Jaguar Wright had Sean Davy Way do a bus ticket fund, and they was doing the money on TikTok coming in for her to get a ticket, right? And they sent her the money for the ticket, sent you money for food and the gas for your
They never
driver.
sent me a dime. They sent it to them, and they sent Jag ended up paying the driver. And see, the driver was trying to play me like he was my friend, but Nick Detroit gonna be hustling. Tell us, oh, we ain't got nothing to eat. We've been sitting out here for hours because it was up there at least about 2-3 hours waiting
Right.
on people to raise
Well, I
money.
mean, that's what she said. She said she sent it to DJGenesis for the driver and the food. So Legina got free food and the
She
bus
never, she
ticket.
never, she never sent me no money for no food.
Okay, she sent it directly to the driver.
I don't know who she sent it to. I don't think she did. I don't know. I think she did end up paying the driver after the fact, or at some point during the fact. I don't know, but I could actually try to contact him and he could tell you on his side too.
No, I don't think that would be necessary unless it was Regina Gold. I don't think the conversation would go in any direction, bringing other players involved that are not really involved. So basically, the whole thing with Regina Gold and her, story, Jaguar Wright said that she'll believe the story until the paternity test, or not the paternity test, but until the test comes out different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you under that same, notion, or did you already know like that she was fraudulent?
I mean, I never believed at all about the whole. I mean, when I like caught wind of what was going on, that she was saying that she was Aaliyah's daughter and this, that, the other, I didn't believe that. You know what I'm saying? But she's still a human being, and I really more about a person. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about like her fake being Aaliyah's daughter, because even though she would tell me the story, it's like, but that's partially why we also fell out, is because I didn't. When she was at my house, I wouldn't allow her to get online and say that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, I don't want you saying that at my house, because I don't want no one backlash coming on me pushing this narrative about you being Aaliyah's daughter, and I'm supporting, I'm helping you. I'm look like I'm part of that whole thing. So part of like her anger towards me, well, she felt like I was kind of like holding her back, or I don't know. So that was another thing that was going on.
Do you find it ironic that Ramir and Legina are closely coming out with the same type of story and have connections with Jaguar?
Who is Ramir?
Ramir Shuttlesworth, whatever his name is, the dude that comes out that says he's Jay-Z's son.
I don't know about that thing. I don't know nothing about that part. The Ramir person. I don't even know who that is.
Oh, okay.
Like, so I don't even follow that.
You ain't been keeping up with the Jay-Z situation?
Only the main thing when it comes down to like the Ali Carter and stuff like that. Not so much of whatever that person is.
You ain't been keeping up with Sean Atwood's network?
Nah, I don't watch it. If it's got Jaguar on it, I can't stand to watch her for like 5 seconds. It's something that's in my system that I can't watch her channel. I can't watch her on there. It irritates me, so I can't. About 2 seconds, I gotta turn it off.
I know that's right. All right, so basically, you got dragged into this situation trying to follow a dream of what you were, a old feeling that you knew once before, right?
Yeah, like when it really came down to it, I remember her from back in the day when she was a singer and doing that. I didn't know this new Jaguar. I didn't know who this person. I didn't know this person. I just knew her from performing and making music. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, okay, let's make some music. Let's do some shows or whatever. But she was saying that people were sabotaging her shows. People were doing this. Like, she had invited us to a show. I think it was in Houston. She said that it was like New Year's Eve or something like that. And people like this thing tried to fall on her, like they had set her up, and so I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on here, so
she was creating these type of scenarios everywhere she went, and then y'all was just acting them out with her, like, oh shit, come on, drive faster.
Well, when I first met her, she was saying that she was being followed by like some cartel or something like that.
And 98?
No. This was recent. When I got back re in touch with her, and like when this whole thing started.
Oh.
When I had dinner with her.
Was she saying that stuff back in 98?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
so
absolutely not. She was more. Then. She was normal. She was actually an artist. She was making music and this, that, the other. Now, I don't know behind the scenes how she was, because we didn't really like, we weren't like besties. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like
when did
business.
You like link back up with her? Like, are you talking about what, the 2001 when you got back in contact with her, or?
We would have touch points over time. You know what I'm saying? Because we were all in the same crew, like circumference of like neo soul and stuff like that.
At what point? All right, let me rephrase the question. At what point did you realize, like, what the hell was it when she had that little seizure in your house, or was it before that you realized? Like,
it was the seizure in the house where she said that there was a war about to come, when she did that, we all looked at each other like, what in the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? And then it just started all hell, because every time her and Goomba would come to the house, they'd be in the middle of an argument. You know what I'm saying? And be mad and this, that, the other. And so we'd be like, man, what's going on? And so Shaka would talk to Goomba. Jag would be inside the house. She would sit in the one chair and talking and whatever. He would come and set up for Philadelphia, because they were filming Philadelphia from my house. They would do interviews, be talking about stuff. She'd be singing, be going live on Philadelphia, all that stuff.
Okay.
So it was almost like a media house. That's how I was looking at. Okay, we're doing this. We're working on internet, working on the websites. She's broadcasting live. She would come to my house, broadcast live. They'd be working on music. It was just like a whole like atmosphere of music and putting up websites and all that stuff.
I see somebody keep saying it was late 2021. So basically, like when she went into the little episode, basically she was saying like a war is coming. Like what was she saying? Like
she was asleep, and she had been asleep for like about, I would say, 30 minutes, and then somewhere in the middle of that, she began to like convulse, and then she was like, a war is coming, a war is coming. And then Shaka came up, was like, I'm not Shaka, Goomba was like, what's up, and then he told us, well, she does this sometime, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? We were all like, I think we were about to eat and was cooking, and she goes into the wars coming, and we're like, what? So yeah.
And then like when did things start? Was it after that things started like getting weird, or was it before that you noticed the weirdness?
Well, it would be touches of weird points, and then, like I said, whenever she would come, at the time she was having like a thing with this other content creator, so she would get up there and be going in on him and this, that, the other, and then people began to like kind of track her down, and it became like a whole situation about her being at my house. So because of the fact that she was in the same house with Shaka and them, that became like a whole situation. And then you bring Solar in, and you had people like kind of like tracking them at the time, so that my address got like doxed and everything. It was a whole experience going on. People were threatening, wanting to fight. It was crazy. And she would get online and be singing songs and cussing people out, whatever, And then I think they went to like, they would like leave and go out of town and then come back after they, left out of town. I think they went to like Arizona for a little bit. She said their car blew up. She came back, and then blamed it on them. There's people who said they blew up her car, and it was a lot going on.
Was you aware of that story, or was you still friends with her during that whole car story?
Yeah. Yep. I was still talking to her. Yeah.
That was before the Legina situation.
Yeah. She was coming to my house, and they would be making music. She should have an album out, as much music as she was making at my house.
I mean, she probably can't get to that. She probably can't, that's probably, there's complications. There's always complications when it comes to Jaguar and her music career. I mean, so at what point did this diaper come into play? Like, this was travel time that or was she always wearing a diaper?
I never was privy to her wearing a diaper. I heard other people saying that. I never like checked if she wore a diaper or not.
You never had to change a diaper or nothing like that, right?
Nah. Okay. She if she had a diaper on, she changed it herself. I never was a.
I mean, it's just it's difficult to wipe. When you got to change a diaper, it's kind of difficult. It all depends. It all depends, right?
Well, it depends. It depends.
Right. It depends. So basically, the whole time that you knew her, when did you know her to be in and out of the hospitals, or like the mental health issues? When did this come into the picture? Like, was it something that you didn't know about, or did you find out with the whole Legina Gold thing?
It happened after Solar, when she actually had to go to the hospital, when she went to the police. I mean, when she went to the barbershop and got put in the mental institution, After that, it just went downhill from there. You know.
Oh, okay. So and then after that, it just it never got back. Nothing,
No.
something never snapped back.
Yeah, and I thought it was about the governess, but now I found out from even her family members that this has been an ongoing situation, mental health situation going on since she was younger.
Ah, right. When did you find that out? After, like after the fallout, after you done let Legina Gold stay with you, or
After I had Legina Gold stay with me, that's when, because what happened is that when she left her mom at my house, her sister had been in touch with me, and I actually had put her on
wait,
the phone.
she left the mom at your house?
Yeah, when she went to go,
Oh, you was her friend. You was Jaguar's friend.
yeah, I went to church with
If
my
I
mom.
leave my mama at your house, we damn near family. If I leave my mama at your house,
Yeah, like I went to church with her mom and everything.
okay. So did Legina tell you about a tub incident with Jaguar, or was that just
Something I don't know that she want her to give her like something while she was in the tub and she didn't feel comfortable going in there, something like that to that effect. She was in the tub and she wanted Legina to grab something.
oh, okay. And what about the whole Sam situation with Legina? Like Jaguar wanted Legina to be like bring a kid in for Sam, but Sam go the opposite. Something up. Did you know anything about that?
No, it was kind of, let me tell you something. Sam is a very outspoken young man, so he was laughing when they were saying that him and Legina were together. He was like laughing, like he came in the house like, let me tell you what people are saying. They're saying that I'm with Legina. Ha ha ha. And I was like, God damn.
I mean, of course, yeah, right.
He was in front of her. He was like in front of her and was laughing like, please, like, no, I have standards. There's no way, I was like, whoa, like
He said that.
yeah, he was like, I got standards and all type of wild stuff, like really loud, because he talked like he just like out in front of everybody, like, no, I ain't. He was laughing like it's preposterous. Hell no, I wouldn't. It was like, wow, yeah, no whole bar, just straight up like, no, hell no, I wouldn't be fooling with her. And I got standards and this, that, the other. It was kind of hurtful, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, you got standards, or I'm not, damn, so.
Me.
But Legina said that he's too young for her anyway. He 21, she hitting 30. Like she's like, well, he's not even my type of person. Like I wouldn't even be fooling around with no young guy like that. He's only like what 20 or 19 at the time, 20, 21, whatever, however old.
No, Legina Gold also said that she's got a infatuation with Tupac and she'll give Tupac some. So I don't know. You ain't look at no age bracket with that shit. But neither here nor there. So pretty much like the whole situation was based off of like some weird manipulation that would you say that you got manipulated over the years dealing with Jaguar? Like
I would say that I didn't realize the breadth of her situation. I would say that I didn't realize that. In a way, I did get manipulated. I did like not realize. I don't think it's so much manipulation. I think it's so much that I didn't have my eyes open. You know what I'm saying? I was too busy focused on like the computer, because I'm a very like I sit at my computer all day. They were doing all that stuff out there. I wasn't interacting with them. I'm on the computer. I'm over here trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. That's all I do is I'm about making money. So sitting out there hanging out.
You were just hearing this stuff. You were just hearing the stories or whatever they were telling you. Like,
yeah, and they'd be in the front, whatever they're doing. I'm over here on the computer doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? And but the way my house was laid out, I could hear everything going on in the front room because my office is right next to the room where they were all hanging out at. So I could hear everything going on, but I'm on the computer. I'm over here. You know what I'm saying?
okay. So pretty much like the whole Jaguar situation is not something that you conspired with. Like this was something that was like, stumble into your life. You wasn't even thinking about, letting Legina go stay with you or scamming or scheming on that. Like you didn't conspire with Cash App or PayPal to get money through TikTok or any of the other apps, right? Because that's what this is coming down to. Jaguar is going to be facing electronic uh scam fraud, um operating as a RICO act because they're operating in a gang. There's already more than 5 of them connected, so that's room for investigation right there. But you didn't have any like notion or gumption of the whole Cash App scamming with Legina and the understanding that this is committing a fraud by, yeah, wire fraud, but by coming out fraudulently saying that you're something, and people are not donating to these people, they're donating to the idea that they are the persona, they are the Aaliyah's daughter or the Jay-Z's sons, or you know what I mean. So people are donating with the idea of that, which is definitely wire fraud and fraudulent. But you wasn't aware of any of this, right?
No, I had nothing to do with any like wires that came in from
You
them.
just was like, oh, you need a place to stay? Sure, you can stay with me. I mean, you already had groups of people staying with you at that time anyway.
I was already like the damn boarding home of everybody, like the indigents. I was already boarding people. So what else? You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, come on. So
right.
I shouldn't call them indigent. They're capable of making money and capable of doing stuff. So I shouldn't say that.
Okay. The reason why I asked is because I got to close up certain doors when you are doing a investigation of this magnitude. You got to make sure certain doors are closed. So with the whole Amber situation, that door is closed because you can see through the text messages in the Discord that Amber was trying to clear her name. She was not trying to contact Wolf Kutcher on those sucky ducky quack quack shit. You can
She
see
tried to say I was trying to screw Goomba, and we are sitting up there at the computer together fixing her website. I'm like, bro, you crazy.
so this is a repeated thing.
Yeah. Listen, I'm in a house, right? The way my house is set up. Okay, imagine. Okay, there's an office. There's a door that has no door on it. The front room is right next to my office. It's an open concept kind of thing.
Right. The
There
office.
is no time that
The office don't have no door on it.
No, it was like an open.
Man.
It was like there was a wall, but
the offices come with doors. See, my office come with a door. You see, I just had to tell somebody to come in. The office, I come out. My office come.
Yeah,
with a
the
door.
way my house is set up, it was like it wasn't really an office. It was really a dining room that I turned into an office. So imagine, how like you have a front room. Like
I'm joking. I'm just joking. It's whatever you make it. It was an office. It was an office.
Whatever it was, is that
so right.
I turned this little dining room into an office, had no door on it. So whatever's going
on in the front room, you can hear, and you know.
Whatever's going on in my little office, you can hear. So
okay.
I was not trying to screw Goomba. We were up here trying to fix her raggedy behind website that she had.
I mean, it don't matter. They go. She think about screwing everybody. So of course she would think about. If somebody walks around thinking about screwing all the time, then of course everybody's thinking about the same thing that they're thinking about.
Yeah, I was trying to screw.
When I had the mind of a 16-year-old, I thought the same way. I'm like, shit, everybody thinking about hitting something, but luckily I had trauma shocks in my life, like that 7th grade PE health book that you open it up and it got the pictures and shit in it. Yeah, that's a trauma shock right there. I never looked up Blue Waffle to see what none of that shit looked up. I know when I seen the pictures in that book, I was like, okay.
And here's the thing: people keep saying I was trying to get with Shaka, and I'm like, man, first of all, Shaka ate Velvet hoo-ha, and from what I understood is that
see you see what y'all do. Sorry, you see what y'all do. You see what you're doing right now. You are defending a image that someone else is putting on you that is not you. I never called you up here to try to say that you mess with this person, mess with that person, do
well,
this.
You know what? Because of
The reason why I say don't bring it up is because let them bring it up who feel disturbed about it. These are all the things that Jaguar is going to use to try to let her do that, right? So the idea is for you to answer the questions that she don't want to answer. Y'all got to stop talking in circles to the collective. The collective wants straightforward answers. We don't want this circle talking where y'all start going back and talking about y'all feelings for something. You get what
Well,
I'm
no,
saying?
it wasn't feelings. It was just this is straight up fact.
And the fact is that was in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to clear up what's going on right now because Jaguar is bringing your name up now, recently, more so. You get what I'm saying? So we're trying to clear up what's being talked about right now
Well,
because
that's what she's saying right
but you having a relationship ain't nowhere near as being a part of a damn cult or running a cult or a RICO act or see. That's why we always lose focus because we
My
don't
bad.
stay on track of what the picture is, right? Once you start focusing on those things that she's talking about, right, then that's what she's going to say your anger is. It's not going to be about right being right or wrong being wrong. It's going to be DJ Genesis is just in her feelings because she didn't get to marry such and such. DJ Genesis is in her feelings because vanity, 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 vanity bullshit, right? You have to take that off the table by not addressing it. When you address it, you make her scenario look right
Right.
by saying
Right.
that you're in your feelings about it. When you allow it to affect your emotions, it's called emotional intelligence, right? Realize that this person is playing on that. And then once they put you in your emotions, they get you to operate how they want you to operate, right? So step away from that operation of how a narcissistic person wants you to operate, right? The one thing you do to a narcissistic person is you starve them, right? So you take that off the table. Take what they're using against you off the table, right?
Right.
Either own it or leave it alone, right? But take it off the table. Now, the more you address that shit, the more she's going to keep on pointing at. Genesis just mad because of this, because that documentary didn't work out, and she spit all anger out there, right? So you got to take that shit off the table. Just leave it alone, okay? You already know what she's going to say. If you address it, that's what she's going to keep coming with. Let's not address it, all right?
Right.
Let's,
Right. Good
let's
point.
go back to the madness of what is Jaguar Wright, right? So after you came back in contact with her and she goes to the mental place and Legina is staying at your house, did you feel like it was over with Jaguar, or you think because of that situation she was in? Do you like how did she keep still popping back up after the whole fallout thing?
Well, what happened is that she ended up going to back to Shreveport because, of course, she got evicted, and so she decided that she wanted to come out and make a whole like thing about saying that I had Cade, my child's father, that I was there when he passed. And that's when I went on this other channel that I'm not sure if you want to. I can't mention the name, but I sent it. I think I sent it to you. Well, I need to get your IG and I'll send you that interview. But that's when I went on that channel and discussed that, and she was aware of me going on the channel and everything like that. So, and talked about the whole thing, how we met, everything. Same story I told real life. My story have not. So my whole life is that I ain't lying. I ain't got nothing to lie about. So she tried to say that I had Cade, my child's father, and all kind of wild stuff, and so I went on there, and then after that, she began to call the house on a regular basis, call Shaka and Azine, and spit venom, 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 venom for hours.
Oh,
She'd
so
be
she
on the
was
phone.
like stalking you.
Yeah, she began to call and be on. If Shaka hung up, she called Azine, be on the phone with her for an hour. Then when she hung up, she called back Shaka. So she was then called Legina, just on like calling everybody, just trying to turn everybody against me. I'm a black hole. I'm evil. Get away from that bitch. All type of stuff.
Damn, all of that.
Yeah.
And
And
so
yeah.
and they telling you this like as she's saying this to them, like you're like, what the fuck? Like, are you confused? Are you It's kind of like the same thing she did to Amber. Like she's trying to make Amber feel isolated, like she's not wanted. And I noticed this is a repeated thing. She keeps on doing this, like to people, like you're nobody. You only got this many numbers over there, and that that discouraged people a lot. When you're looking at your numbers, no matter what you're doing, you want at least a couple of people to be interested in what the hell you're interested in. So it's kind of like just using another tactic of playing a manipulation game with people's minds. But like, so
but it was kind of whack too that they were sitting there listening to it. So that showed
right. That
and I wasn't even picking up on that. That's how
that definitely should have been a red flag right there, that they were allowing this back and forth. They could have been telling updates, giving updates on what's going on with you and everything like that. That just sounds very, 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 very cult-like. That's cult-like,
Yeah, I'm focused over here.
She started a coup. She started a coup with them. She told them that she could be a better leader than their leader. And then once they fell, a lot of people might have fell up under her. There's still some people that's involved that we're not in contact with. Remember, she said that she did nothing but help these people. So once she got in contact with a couple of them, they probably put her in contact with a couple of more, right? And she probably, has a group of them now. I don't know how many people was it.
She
I know
began to call it Carbon Island, the Carbon Island rejects or something like that, the Carbon Island or something like that.
Oh, that's what she was calling them?
Yeah. Like they were all they escaped the Carbon Island.
She was helping them though. So it's more of them that's involved besides the.
I don't know, but it could be.
Solar.
It could be.
She went down there. She went down there with Solar to meet with some people for sure. You ain't making no trips with Solar, and Solar is not introducing you to some other people that's involved.
Where'd she go? She went down somewhere with Solar?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Oh, you mean Shreveport? No. When she went down to Louisiana, she introduced her to that dude, Shucky Ducky Quack Quack, and a bunch of different like comedians and stuff like that. And he was sad and whatever. But I'm talking about like them going down to Mexico. And
so you think she was keeping Solar close because he was a dealer?
I don't know.
Are you familiar with any of the Yellow Beasley conversation situation or the the introduction to how she was going to the Yellow Beasley trap house? Are you familiar with that, or was that something that Goomba? That's
something that just came up. I believe that came up after Lamisha got involved, because I don't think I never heard of Yellow Beasley after that.
After Lamisha.
Yeah, that's when she started talking about Yellow Beasley. I think that she just tries to find things to talk about and to make herself still relevant when she gets on the panel.
Do you think she's working with a team of people? Like, do you think it's a team of them, like a bunch of her mods that bring her, relevant information, or try to get as close to, and then she tries to talk about it before anybody else talk about it?
Yeah, I think it's people that she's in touch with. I think that she's in touch with a lot of people on the phone.
No, I say that because I noticed some back messages when I got the emails that was regarding Ali Carter, where Grace was like, and this was on the 6th. Now, mind you, this secret conversation that she supposedly had happened on the 3rd, right? Now, this is how you use her own dates against her. She out her own mouth said, girl, Grace, you remember that secret conversation we had on the 3rd? Yeah, and it wasn't until a week later that everything started coming out about Ali Carter. Yeah, girl, remember when we was in Two Strongs Live, somebody popped up in the comment section and said, did I talk to Ali Carter recently? Oh, I wonder if somebody, why would they put that? Yeah, girl, back to that secret conversation that we had on the 3rd. Now, according to the messages that I seen, right, it states that on the 6th, Grace was like, hey girl, did you hear what happened with Ali Carter's mom? So therefore, as of the 6th, Grace was still putting pieces together to outing Ali Carter. So that means you couldn't have had a secret meeting with her on the 3rd about the outing of Ali Carter. So you couldn't have been giving King World a story. I mean, not King World, but Too Strong a story to say that King World stole that story, right?
No, the reason why King World knows about that is because the mother got in touch with King World after he started to cover it. And he started to tell King World that King World was the one that was
I
and
know,
was
but
saying,
listen to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're once again, we're not talking about how King World got about it, how King World got it. That's a distraction. We're talking about how Jaguar Wright never had it. She's saying that she had the story. That someone stole this information from her and leaked it to the troll farm, and then the troll farm started coming out with all of it. That's
man,
what
if
she's saying.
if she would have had that story, she would have been
That's
bright eyed
the
and
point
bushy.
that I'm trying to make. She don't have no stories, and because stories are happening so fast around her, in front of her, she can't grab her own story. So why you think she's sitting there arguing about a damn bike that she stole 31 years ago? Y'all ain't paying attention to what the hell going on. Pay attention.
You know what? And I
She is
haven't.
not a content creator. You know whom's a content creator? Me. I'm a content creator. I got Jaguar Wright arguing about a bike that she stole 31 years ago, and she even told y'all how she got to the location to steal the damn bike. I would get on the speed line and get off at Ferry Station because I wouldn't want to go past that because the other one leads to the bridge. And I would get off at Ferry Station in order to get to Pollock. So you did. You put yourself at the scene of the crime. That's how you know. That's how you know. You don't have to be out here hurting people with lies. You can just crush them with the truth. That's all you got to do is crush them with the truth. She remembers stealing the bike from out that way. That's why she's sitting there talking about something. I'm trying to think. If he was this age and I was, did you steal bikes or no? Did you steal a motherfucker? Did you steal a bike or no?
You need to make a song about that. Did you steal a bike or not?
And she's sitting there for a whole damn week and a half arguing about what she did 31 years ago and can't even remember what the fuck she did 3 days ago. How you gonna argue with something? You literally can't even remember what you did 3 days ago, Jaguar, and you trying to sit there and act like you got it all figured out from 31 years ago. I remember the shit that happened to me when I was 6. I remember shit that happened to me when I was 3 years old. You know, when I was 3 and 4 years old, my dad used to dress me and my brother up as twins because we shared the same birthday. So from April 20th to May 26th, he used to walk us around like we was twins and shit. So he would go get like the outfits that match, but they had different colors. Like my brother would wear blue, I would wear red, and he would prance us around as twins because when people say how old are you, we had to say the same age and shit. That was at 4 years old. I remember shit, Jaguar, and I remember you stole my bike 1994 next to Bonzo Middle School when I was visiting my grandma out Pollock. I remember because you rode off with your boyfriend that you told me to let ride it. And you said, Philly shit, nigga. I don't know where y'all was going. Maybe I was going back to the speed line to go back to Voorhees. I don't know. But I remember that Philly shit. And you're still saying it to this day. That's what triggered me. The moment I heard you say Philly shit, nigga, I knew it was you, woman.
Well, the
That's
only
called
question is,
that's called memory. Jaguar, that's called memory. You ever hear somebody's voice and that shit trigger a childhood memory? You can't get no childhood memories because you always been manipulative, motherfucker, since you was a child, Jaguar. That's why you sitting there trying to contemplate whether you really stole my bike or not, because you stole my bike and you know you did. That's why you was like, well, I was stealing bikes back then, shit. But I did start killing. I was stealing cars, bikes, radios. You a klepto.
wow.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
I know she would tell a story about how she.
I had a triggering moment. I'm sorry. That it triggered me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
But
was
you
triggered.
know what? I remember the story she told when she had all these crazy behind stories. So I don't know what where this Jaguar comes in because at
See,
all the stories
she
she told,
seemed
she
to
never
know.
had
She
no
seemed to
Jaguar
know.
car. I
How
never.
she seemed to know in every city. Listen, this is who she seemed to know in every city: the drug dealers, the prostitutes, and the pimps. Make it make sense. she'll tell you a story where she say, and I know every pimp that's down there on that strip. I'm gonna ask around and find out how the fuck is it that you know all the pimps, right? She'll tell you a story. She say, and when I lived in Philly, I messed with the baddest drug dealer in Philly. I
Oh yeah,
mean,
he told me that
he
story.
he owned every stuff, right? Why the fuck is you always getting with drug dealers? We see your habit. You always gonna get with drug dealers because that's your habit. That's how we know Wolf Kutcher is a drug dealer. That's how we know Wolf Kutcher was bagging up in the background of that video that you deleted after 6 hours of having it up. Wolf Kutcher ain't nobody. He can't think past go. He is a chop and bag it type dude. You know that. I know that. I don't know why the fuck you try to make him a technician. There's nothing technical about it. Technically, his ass should be chopping and bagging. You know,
Mm.
kind of like they said, you know, let my bitch bag it, send it to the worker, let the strip have it. Fiends go to work for the work I sell them. Fiends go to work after the work you sell them. They know they gotta buy more. They head hurt, they eyes sore, selling that sheet rock, drywall. But they want that. They come back for more, but they come back to me. They don't come back to y'all. I be chef, we chef. You never have to re-chef what I chef. Comprende? Rewind, recess, replay, action. I be chef, we chef. You never have to re-chef what I chef. Comprende? All right.
You wrote that or who wrote that?
Hey, listen, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Now, remember, Jaguar Wright is not the person that you think she is. All she did was find a new way to manipulate. Okay? Before this, it was Facebook. She was manipulating people on Facebook, right? And then that whole pandemic, that shit opened up another door for everybody because then all the panhandlers can just be online doing it. You see them. If y'all on TikTok, you see them. Them dudes are standing out there like, you're shocking me. You're shocking me. You're shocking me.
What? What?
Motherfuckers is throwing all types of coins at them on TikTok and shit. They sitting there NPCing. Yeah, if we put all these damn, homeless people on TikTok, there go your whole, NPC performance right there. Just get them all some phones. Just let them be on TikTok. You're shocking me. You're shocking me. You're shocking me. Thank you. Thank you for the rose.
Did you get on the Red Book after that? The TikTok got banned. Did you get on Red Cat or whatever it's called?
No, I waited the 14 hours like I was supposed to because I told y'all TikTok wasn't going anywhere.
Mm.
I waited my 14 hours. Now I did have Lemonade already downloaded, so I did check like Lemonade to see, if whatever. But they took Lemonade out too, so I'm pretty sure that red thing was out too. But that was listed as the highest growing what you call them. So I think what that might have been was just a way to get more people to go over there, and that gave more data on people, right? Because you got to look at it like all of this stuff is data transfer, all of this stuff is digital footprints, so I think really you got to get with the curve, get with the age of what's happening. We're moving into a digital marketing system. So if you're not building a brand, an image, or some type of social media platform, that's why it's bad to have Jaguar Wright around tearing people reputation down, tearing people name down, right? Because people are trying to build images for themselves in this, multiverse of platform, however you want to look at it. And just to have her just tearing everybody down, that's detrimental to the collective. We ain't never gonna grow or become something better with Jaguar. Look at how many people she did wrong already. Look at how many people she already tore down already.
Surprised you haven't like gotten in with Sean. I mean, it's just a matter of time. I've been like counting down the days when she started turning on Sean.
Nah, she already did. Let me tell you. Let me break it down to you. Y'all ain't paying attention. So I got to tell y'all the stuff that y'all not paying attention to. When that whole Shane thing took place, Jaguar was mad. When the Courtney Burgess thing took place and Courtney Burgess said the things that he said about Jaguar making her son do, Jaguar was mad. Right then and there, she thought, oh, Courtney already turned on me because remember, Courtney was the one she gave the information to come out on Atwood's, right? When James English got in touch with her, right? And James English was supposed to pay Wolf Kutcher, right? He sent them money, but he backed out, pulled out, right? It's $1,500. So obviously they was going to work for James English. They just pulled back, right? So Wolf Kutcher said he's still mad at James English for that, for whatever reason, the money situation, right? So they was going to go against Sean Atwoods because James English is a enemy of Atwoods. He was giving them the information about what Atwoods was really locked up for. This is why Atwoods keep on arguing that every time somebody bring it up. When Courtney Burgess brought it up, he was like, I was locked up for X, Courtney. And Courtney like, yo, chill. I wasn't even trying to bring it up.
Wow.
That's why he feel like he got to defend that shit every time.
Who is James English? I'm sorry.
James English is I don't know. Somebody said it's Audrey's ex, but James English is the person who had the information on Atwoods. Atwoods said he talked to English and they pieced it up and everything's cool now.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, see that's a rabbit hole. I ain't got no time to go down.
Right. Yeah,
It's a rabbit hole.
So Jaguar already, threatened Atwoods with that, by telling Atwoods when that whole Shane thing took place and Atwoods came over to address it. Atwoods used the baby as a shield, just like Ron used the baby as a shield, right? And then Jaguar used James English as a threat to say Atwoods, I got in touch with James English, or he tried to get in touch with us, such and such and such, right? And
the baby, like the hip hop artist, the baby.
No, the baby, as in like a kid in the picture.
Oh wow.
Certain people use certain tactics to deflect from getting the harsher end of the conversation. You ain't really gonna talk to him the way you want to talk to him because the kid right there.
Oh, so he would have the baby on the
Right,
live.
so he had the baby on the live, so that way they couldn't really ask him or can back question.